Hey guys, it's Sebastian.
And Christine.
We're Ninth Island Connection, but you already know that because you're on our channel. We are your weekly lifestyle resource for all things Vegas. Check out the description below so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. Take a look around. All we do is make videos about Vegas, restaurants, properties, events, activities, everything that you need to know about Vegas before you come here on your vacation.
And one of the questions that we get a lot about Vegas is the weather in Vegas. So in this video, we are going to talk about the winter months here in Vegas, or what you can expect in terms of weather, what you can expect in terms of events, and just overall what it's like here in Vegas during the winter months of December, January, and February.
Okay, so full disclosure, the hat was just to cover my messy hair, not so much for the weather. But sometimes you actually do need a winter hat in Vegas, along with a warm winter coat. And we'll get into more of that in just a minute, but first, let's answer that popular question of, does it actually snow in Vegas? So this video right here is Mount Charleston, which is about 35 minutes from the Strip downtown area. And that's actually your best chance if you want to see snow while visiting Vegas. Mount Charleston has snow. It's way colder up there. They actually have a ski hill and all of that good stuff. But if you do decide to make the drive up there, make sure you pay attention to the local news if you're visiting, or Google it, because sometimes they do not allow visitors up to Mount Charleston due to the weather. They actually even will recommend having chains on your vehicle's tire, which if you're visiting, your Lyft and Uber probably are not going to have that, nor is your rental car. Mount Charleston is definitely different than what people typically think of Las Vegas. However, we'd highly recommend taking the trip out there, especially if you love the outdoors and want to see some snow. And if you do go up there, bundle up, it's cold. As for actual snow in Vegas, we have seen snow, but it's pretty light and typically doesn't last for long, thank goodness.
All right, guys, let's get into the winter weather. Now, Vegas does not get as cold as some places. It does get much cooler than what people may expect. Now, of course, our Minnesota family and friends always tease us and trust us. We know that that's the real cold weather, but that's why we don't live there. Here in Vegas, we do have a desert climate. What does that mean? Once the sun goes down, it cools off, and it cools off fast, like minutes. And it does take a long time to warm up during the day. So if you see a daytime high of, say, 55, it's not going to be 55 till probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And guess what? An hour and a half later, the sun is down. Also, if there's wind, you can definitely expect that bone-chilling cold to come in and go right through your clothes. Now, if you're gambling in the casinos, like most people tend to do, especially in the winter because it's so cold outside, they crank up the heat. And I mean to the point that you're going to be sweating in some cases, and not over your losses, just in general. Now, if you happen to be playing slot machines near one of the doors, it's going to be the opposite effect. Every time that door opens, you're going to feel that cold wind come on in. So we definitely recommend dressing in layers.
Average temps in December are as low as upper 50s, although sometimes we're lucky and we hit mid to upper 60s during the day. At night, it can dip down into the 40s and even into the 30s. The cooler temps do seem to add to the holidays though, so it kind of just feels more festive and you don't focus so much on the cold. January temps are typically upper 50s to low 60s, and it can get below freezing at night. We have actually experienced snow in January, although it's nothing that lasted. February seems to feel like the coldest month, but maybe that's just because by February we're just so over winter. Average temps are actually slightly increasing in February with low to mid 60s in the day and 40s at night. And even though it's technically getting warmer, you're really not out of the woods when it comes to snow. The most snow that we have ever experienced here actually occurred during the month of February.
Just like everything else in Vegas, the weather is going to change. So you want to make sure that you're paying close attention to the forecast as you're getting closer to your Vegas vacation, because the weather changes with the direction of the wind. If we're getting Southern California winds, it's going to be a little bit warmer. If we're getting a north to south wind, it's definitely going to be a lot cooler. And that wind can change daily. So pay attention. On the chilly days, it's a good idea to just walk through the casinos, as most of them are either going to be connected or right next to each other. And if you're planning on doing any outdoor activities like hiking, taking a trip out to 7 Magic Mountains, you're going to want to make sure that you do that during the daylight hours and get back to your hotel before sundown, because it's going to be cold. Also remember that beginning in November and all the way through February, it gets darker earlier, so you do have less daylight than the summer months. This is something we learned the hard way. If you're coming during the winter, bring chapstick, and you want good lotion. The hotel lotion just does not cut it. You might even want to think about bringing some Vaseline for your nose, because it does get dry. Now let's get into what you can expect during the winter months here in Vegas. In December, it's a lot of fun. It's really festive. The majority of the casinos have decorations up, and some do go above and beyond. There's also tons of holiday attractions off of the strip. Check out the Christmas in Vegas video that we did, and is in the description here for more information on specifically what to expect during Christmas in Vegas.
Now, aside from the Christmas cheer, December is also the time for the NFR, the National Finals Rodeo. So there are tons of cowboys and cowgirls around, and lots of opportunities for country music if that's your thing. It's still fairly busy here in December. Like usual, weekends are busier than Monday through Thursday, as that's when the majority of concerts are, along with football and sometimes even hockey. The end of December is of course busy, as Vegas is a popular place to ring in the new year. If you're planning to come to Vegas for New Year's, be sure to plan ahead and be prepared for increased room rates. We recently shared a video on New Year's Eve in Vegas, so check that out for more information.
Historically, January and February are both typically slower months for visitors. However, both months are huge for conventions, which during the conventions, it can be busy at those particular properties. So be prepared for some restaurants and bars to even be closed for private events during the convention season. You'll know there's a convention happening at the property you're at, because everybody's going to be wearing those name tags around their neck. Aside from the conventions, there's still concerts happening on the weekends, along with hockey and football. And speaking of football, Super Bowl is crazy busy here in Vegas. In general, you can expect to pay to watch the game. Most restaurants and bars, as well as sports books, require paid reservations and typically have some sort of package for that. With Super Bowl being at Allegiant Stadium in 2024, it's going to be crazy busy and expensive during the week of Super Bowl. Yes, the entire week. There's going to be tons of festivities and all kinds of events related to the Super Bowl happening all over town.
Now, with all of the people here, expect to wait everywhere. The airport, restaurants, and even for rides. And there's definitely going to be surge pricing for rideshare, along with long waits. If you can walk to your destination, do it. Also utilize the free trams along with the monorail. If you're heading to Allegiant for the game, it's easiest to walk over from Mandalay Bay as they close down the Hacienda Bridge. And make sure not to bring any bags or purses that exceed their policies. Plan on walking back in a huge crowd as well. You may want to grab a drink, gamble, listen to music, or whatever at Mandalay Bay while you wait for surge pricing to go down to more normal prices. That's typically what we do. And so technically, March is a part of winter. However, here in Vegas, it's more of spring weather, as it gets warmer, and that's when the pools open. So we will include March in our spring video, so stay tuned for that.
That's a wrap on this one, guys. As always, we want to hear from you, so be sure to comment below. Let us know, is winter a time for you to come to Vegas? Do you avoid it? Do you love it? Share in the comments below. Also, share some tips if you guys typically do come during the winter. Maybe we missed something, so comment below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I mean, all we do is bring you Vegas. Hours a day, 7 days a week, in a city that never sleeps. Ninth Island Connection will take you there. You won't want to miss a beat as we give you a sneak peek inside the biggest, best, and most outrageous hotspots, both on and off the strip. Be sure to tune in to Ninth Island Connection with Sebastian Rodriguez every week. Great people, great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.